Making a buzz right now, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has commissioned a study in hopes of improving education here in the U.S., but there are a lot of people questioning the way that's being done. According to the Washington Post, the Gates Foundation is spending more than $1 million to develop galvanic skin response bracelets that will measure how engaged a student is in his teacher's lesson. The idea, presumably, would be to use the results given by those bracelets to hone lesson plans and encourage a love of learning in students. But is this the right way to do it? And could this money be better spent elsewhere? What are your thoughts?
We have celebrity chef Eddie Matney joining us. You know, the idea of putting on a bracelet to detect whether a child is learning sufficiently. Wow.
You know what? I think it's pretty extravagant. I think it's, but that's the kind of dude he is, man. I mean, if he wants to throw $1 million at it and it makes a difference and it helps you hone in on certain or whatever, certain curriculum to make him learn better, okay, he's got $1 million. He's got a lot of millions of dollars to do it. If he wants to spend the money on it, that's up to him. If it makes a difference, great. But is it money well spent? Who says? It's his money. Let him do what he wants. If it helps our kids, if it makes the teachers hone in on certain things and make them learn better, so be it. You know, that's $1 million that he has that he's doing. Think about this. What happens if it works? And educators can now hone in on certain things and say, this child is good for this child is good for that, and it graduates kids quicker and makes them learn a little better or anything else. We're going to say, oh my gosh, best $1 million we ever spent. Maybe he'll spend a little bit more money on education, a little bit more. So, I mean, it's a toss-up. $1 million here, $1 million there. You know, I worry about $10, let alone $1 million.
Yeah, I get what you said. It's his money. He can do with it what he will. I don't see how it could possibly cause any harm. And like you said, if it does help improve learning,
absolutely.
Why not?
But so many people would argue the other way. Why aren't we giving this money to teachers? Why are we putting it into a device like a bracelet to detect whether, you know, their sensory, you know, engagement is up when they're teaching us, you know, a certain mathematic equation versus something else, versus giving that money to teachers and to schools, and, you know, maybe helping with everything from, you know, books to computers to advancing classrooms.
That's a valid point. We were at the restaurant the other day. We had 2 grad students and we're teaching. They make $25,000 a year and they have graduate degrees in teaching. You're right. That money could be spent better at that, but if it engages him, Bill Gates, to say, look, this is something we want to do, maybe there's more money to come after it, or what, you know, like you said, $1 million could be spent better in other ways, but he's choosing to do it. It's not bad money. Yeah. You know, he's not adopting a highway. He's a, you know, he's a good guy that's done a tremendous amount of work. So that, I mean, that's my deal on it. If it helps you know, the other day we were watching something where a 35-year-old guy couldn't write dessert or appetizers, couldn't write appetizers. You know, maybe if he had the bracelet years ago, he'd be able to do that.
He would have.
Hey, you know, you never know.
You don't. And let's get to what you're saying online. I just love this.
Erica Martinez, she writes, all this money should be used to pay teachers more. If we made teaching a prestigious career and gave them the respect they deserve, then they would do an outstanding job and we would only get the best teachers.
You know, that's very, and I so agree that teachers need to be paid more for the work that they do. But is it Bill and Melinda Gates' responsibility to pay the teacher's salary? No. I mean, that comes from the state. I think they need to do a better job of figuring out where that money needs to come from.
I agree, and you know, but if this makes a little bit of difference and makes a difference in kids' lives, you know, who said it's money not well spent? You know, right? We do need more money. Hint, hint. Teachers need a raise.
Yes. All righty. Well, we're going to keep the conversation going.